Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now?
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 24th day of August 2022, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. And with all of the lightning and the thunder, we got some rain as well. Really needed. We see throughout the world the drought that is taking place in some areas, while other areas like Texas, while they did experience drought, they also had floods at the same time. So what a world we are living in. So many changes, so many people that are ignoring the changes, so many people who are denying the changes as well. But I hope and I trust that you here in the Cayman Islands, or wherever you are, that you had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. You have already heard Mr. Paul Akal talk about the fact that everyone is rushing on the roads already this morning. Where are you rushing to go? What are you rushing for? Take life in stride. Take it easy. Observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, and we want to remind you that For the Record, birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randa Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. They remind you not to take chances with your family's future. So if you're celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Art Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, the phone lines are open. Radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal, waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number, provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at For the Record, one word, For the Record at CANDW.KY. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And, of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. So the birthday segment this morning, like we said, the shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randa Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center, and they remind you, don't take chances with your family's future. So let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. Right here in Radio Cayman, our own Joel Wilson, also known as Will Sinatra. He's celebrating a birthday today, and birthday greetings are coming from all of the staff at Radio Cayman and from Mrs. Borden as well. Also celebrating birthday today, we have some on Facebook. Susan Knight celebrating a birthday today. Rhonda Kelly celebrating a birthday today. Sharon Shamara Thompson is also celebrating a birthday today. Mr. Marcel, my apologies, Mr. Marcel Archer also celebrating a birthday today. And Antonio Mena also celebrating a birthday. On the celebrity front, let's see if there are any familiar names, at least names that are familiar to me. Some of these actors and actresses, I'm not really familiar with them. So we have Lou Dobbs, used to be on CNN. I'm not sure where he is now. But after I found out that he was an ultra conservative, I wasn't really a big fan of Lou Dobbs. Those of you who are into American football, Mean Joe Green. Of course, he played as a linebacker with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He turns 75 today as well. Mean Joe Green, my good friend, dearly departed in New York. Mr. Clarence Forbes was a big, huge fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers and a great fan of Mean Joe Green as well. So those are some of the birthdays that are being celebrated. I believe I may have a few more coming in as well. Let's check and see what else do we have here. Anyone else? Okay, we'd like to send happy birthday greetings to Mr. Varian Ebanks, Mr. Varian Ebanks of West Bay, who is 94 years of age today. Who actually, they say 94 years young, and I agree with them. Mr. Varian Ebanks celebrating his 94th birthday today. And these greetings, they're coming with lots of love from his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren as well. So, Mr. Varian Ebanks, a happy 94th birthday to you as well. So, Mr. Varian, you have a great day, and I am sure that your family members will ensure that this will be another memorable birthday for you. I believe we do have some more birthdays here. Let me ensure that I can find them. If not, what we'll do, Paul, let's take the commercial break now. When we return, we'll still have some time. I just want to say to our listeners this morning, no guests in the studio. I know the past few weeks, I've had you on a short leash when it comes to talking because we've had so many calls queued up when we've had our ministers on the show. And again, we're extremely grateful, thankful for them for being out there, coming in and sharing their views and sharing news with us as well. Dr. McFeel, he is in court, not as a client of the court, but he's there as an attorney representing client. So he's unable to be here today. We'll see what works out for Friday. So for the entire show, we will have an open line for you, which will give me an opportunity to allow you to dialogue a little bit longer. I would just say to you, choose your times. If you see that it's getting close to the half an hour or the quarter of an hour, anywhere within the close to 15 minutes, that may not be a good time to call, because we do take commercial breaks every 15 minutes. And of course, at 8 o'clock, we go to the 8 o'clock news. That news runs until about 8:15, 8:20 as well. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Hope Dorothy Etlin Glidden Borden, MBE, 1926-2000. Mrs. Glidden Borden, Cayman's first female Postmaster General, had a winning personality that began with her greeting to anyone she met. Getting to know her was never a disappointment. Her natural instinct was to be an ambassador for the Cayman Islands, whether she was offering a tourist a ride or as a tourist herself in her many travels. Often, while traveling, she issued invitations to people to visit the Cayman Islands, and they often accepted. Miss Hopi, as she was fondly called, served her fellow man with passion. She adopted the theme song from the movie Titanic, My Heart Will Go On. She gave unselfishly to her church, preaching sermons, playing piano, as well as the organ, teaching, offering financial support, and lifting her voice in prayer. She sang at community functions and served as the musician at weddings and funerals. She was a loving mother to her daughter, Hope, and wife to her husband, James Earl Borden, as well as a foster mother and a tolerant, non-judgmental friend.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Register. Get your clues. Start your engines. Find the answers. The Rotary Central Gumball Car Rally is back. Exciting questions, exciting answers, exciting prizes for rally car theme, rally preparation, rally spirit, gumball rally accuracy, and more. Same day registration, 11:30 a.m. Start line Cricket Square. Start time 12:30 p.m. Saturday, September 17th. Find Gumball Rally finish line and win. Space is limited. Pre-register now. Only $125 per entry. Up to 4 persons per rally car. Email rotarycentralky@gmail.com. The Rotary Central Gumball Car Rally. A fun event, not a race event. Rotary. All the good you imagine.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
So much happening, so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
60 and bossy with J and money. When I trip it easy, trust me. Yeah. Come on, just send some money. I instant entry. Look how you're lucky. Bossy, J and money, bossy. J and money, send you go a yard. Teen, bossy. Jamaica well bossy. 60 and bossy. We well proud.
Celebrate Jamaica 60 with J and money for a chance to win a dream vacation for two to Jamaica, including airfare, resort stay, and more. Send money for a chance to win. Your loved ones will also be entered for a chance to win a brand new car. Competition runs from now until December 24th. J and money 60 and bossy enough.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at J and Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Bossy, Jamaica well bossy. 60 and bossy.
No J and bank account required.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Hi, I'm life insurance agent Michael Webster.
And I am Randy Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center.
Proud sponsors of the birthday shoutouts on For the Record.
Whether you're another year older or just a year wiser,
making sure your family is protected is a pretty wise choice. I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
And I am Randy Lawson at 322-2145. Give us a call today to find out how you can better secure your family's future.
Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. Going to continue with the birthday shout-outs because we had a few that we missed as well, and to remind you that those birthday shout-outs were proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center, who remind you not to take chances with your family's future. So we mentioned earlier Mr. Marcel Archer, and Mr. Archer is overseas, and we want to wish him a speedy recovery and a speedy return home as well. And I just want to say that I'm only mentioning that because that request was made, and we want to say that we're praying for him and wishing a speedy recovery for Mr. Marcel Archer as well. And I want to thank the person who forwarded that to us. Also, Mr. Jordan Williams, he is celebrating a birthday today. we want to wish him a happy birthday also. So what does it mean if you were born on the 24th of August? It should be August. This folks, I may have messed up there a little bit. That was Lou Dobbs is actually September, not August, as I said earlier. So, some of the celebrities, any no, none that we really know. But what does it mean if you were born on August the 24th? Let's see if we can find out what it means. It says August 24th individuals are cautious in finance, in handling money. Tight. Does that mean that they're tight? I'm not too sure. August 24th, individuals are cautious in handling money. They may look to professionals for help in making financial decisions. August 24th natives have a great many personal goals, but they must first come to grips with how they feel about themselves. They are doers, and they will never stop trying to achieve their dreams. So that's what it says for all those persons born today on the 24th of August. Born on this date, not today necessarily, but on this date. So, folks, do we have enough time for this? Maybe not, but we will tease it out. One of our listeners, when I mentioned the Lou Dobbs thing, and I'll share this with you as well. It says, "Good morning. We share the same disdain for despicable Lou Dobbs, who roosted at Fox Financial. They had to let him go as he became part of the spreading of Trump rubbish conspiracy around voting machines, which attracted a big lawsuit." Yeah, that's a huge lawsuit that's in the billions of dollars. One wonders whether or not it will be settled in court or whether or not a settlement will be achieved before then. Huge monies involved in that as well. So what I want to share with you, and this hopefully can form the basis of some of the conversations that we hope will take place between you and me this morning. The Grand Court has ruled in favor of the National Conservation Council in judicial review. So that decision was released yesterday on the 23rd of August. The Grand Court of the Cayman Islands confirmed that the National Conservation Act 2013 provides the National Conservation Council with the ability to direct government bodies in circumstances where actions could have an adverse effect on protected areas or species. As a result, the court concludes that the Central Planning Authority, CPA, acted unlawfully when it approved an application to rebuild a cabana and seawall at Block 5B, Parcel 162 on Bogasan Road in West Bay. The court has squashed the planning approval, which was given contrary to direction from the National Conservation Council. For more details on the 51-page ruling, you can. They have attached this press release, with it, and we're going to get more into that during the course of the show as well. If you have anything that you want to share in this regard, we will be more than happy to hear from you. But it goes to show you that when there is a need to hold persons who are acting in public or operating in a public office, to hold them to account that it can be done. Sometimes it can be expensive, and many of us who may want to do it may not have the financial wherewithal to do so, but it goes to show you that it can happen as well. This is an extremely, extremely important decision. I know that there are persons who are skeptical about this decision because they feel that it may assign too much power, too much influence to any one entity. But at the end of the day, folks, we have to have someone out there who's prepared to protect our surroundings, to protect our environment, to protect our biodiversity, because we know that those out there who are seeking to exploit the natural environment for their own private and profitable purposes, they have the financial clout. They seek to exert the political influence as well. So we, the people, have to have something to buttress that. We, the people, have to have something to be able to counter what those influencers are doing, because they're in it for selfish purposes, because they're only going to last a lifetime, and they, like all the rest of us, will have to move on. So why is it that we're seeking to destroy our environment when we have such a short lifespan on this earth? Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. For the record, we'll return immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Radio Cayman time check now, 8 a.m. This time check brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
All right, class, pay attention. School is back in session, and it's time to get back to school ready with Foster's.
Foster's is embracing school spirit with all the essentials like backpacks, stationery, lunch kits, and more.
And online, treat yourself to our useful back-to-school lunch ideas at livewell.fosters.ky to turn fresh and healthy into full and focused.
And any parents hoping to spend more time at home, there's always fresh delivery from Foster's Go.
Think you got all of that? We'll test you on it later.
Get ready for a great fresh start with Foster's.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The Grand Court rules in favor of the National Conservation Council in a judicial review. The decision released Tuesday night says the Grand Court confirms the National Conservation Act gives the NCC the ability to direct government bodies in circumstances where actions that they take could have adverse effects on protected areas or species. The court concluded that the Central Planning Authority, quote, acted unlawfully when it approved an application to rebuild a cabana and seawall on Boggy Sand Road in West Bay. The court has since quashed the planning approval, which was given contrary to a direction from the National Conservation Council. The Ministry for Climate Resiliency and Sustainability says the 51-page decision confirms the NCC has the authority to direct any entity of government when the taking of any action by them would be likely to cause an adverse effect directly or indirectly on a protected area or on critical habitat of a protected species. The NCC sought the court's consideration in 2021 after the CPA approved the Boggy Sand application counter to their direction not to approve it, as it would negatively impact the 7 Mile Beach Marine Reserve. The Deputy Premier is hoping to bring an overhaul to Cayman's pensions legislation to Parliament before the end of the year.
But one of the changes that I definitely will be pushing for is allowing people to access their pensions in a more broader scope for emergency purposes.
Speaking on Radio Cayman's For the Record, the Honourable Chris Saunders says in light of the recent COVID-19 pension holiday, the funds are already hurting, so the revamped legislation may also include an increase in the mandated contributions.
So I'm hoping at least to get that legislation done for this year. Minister Bryan, when he was in opposition, his first motion that he got passed was actually increasing the pension withdrawal from 35 to 50,000. Passed unanimously, went nowhere. That's one of the things I'm actually looking now as the minister responsible to pension, is to at least move it up.
No word on when these amendments might head to Parliament. The Minister for Tourism has said Parliament is set to meet in September. And Hazard Management Cayman Islands is reminding folks to make sure their hurricane supplies are fully stocked. This after the National Hurricane Center issued guidance on a large area of low pressure located several hundred miles southeast of the Windward Islands late Tuesday evening. The area of disturbed weather was disorganized, but the NHC said that environmental conditions could become conducive for development in a few days. Residents should increase preparedness levels and monitor forecasts issued by the National Weather Service over the coming days. You can hear those right here on Radio Cayman. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Gareth Barlow. Ukraine's president has said his country will fight Russia's invasion until the end. Volodymyr Zelensky insisted there would be no concessions or compromise. He was speaking on the 31st anniversary of Ukraine's independence. Public gatherings are banned in Kiev because of fears of a Russian attack. A prominent Russian opposition politician has been arrested for allegedly discrediting the country's armed forces. Evgeny Roizman, a former mayor of the Siberian city of Yekaterinburg, has already been fined several times for protesting against the government's policies. The Prime Minister of Thailand, Prayut Chan-o-cha, has been suspended by the Constitutional Court while it considers whether he's reached his term limit. Opposition politicians argue that Mr Prayut, who took power in a coup in 2014, has now completed his 8-year term. The Ethiopian government has blamed forces from the northern region of Tigray for starting a fresh outbreak of fighting between the two sides and breaking a 5-month truce. Earlier, the Tigrayans accused the federal army of starting a new offensive. Thousands of South Africans are taking part in a national strike demanding urgent government action to address the cost of living crisis. Two of the country's largest unions are calling for a total shutdown of the economy. Inflation in South Africa has hit nearly 8%, its highest level in 13 years. India's richest man, Gautam Adani, has launched a hostile takeover bid for a prominent broadcaster, NDTV. It's raised concerns about media freedom in the country. Mr Adani is seen as being close to the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. NDTV has until now been critical of his government. And foreign students are from today being allowed back into China after the country was closed for more than 2 years because of COVID. Before the pandemic, there was almost 500,000 overseas students in the country. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Did you know that ValueMed Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with ValueMed. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. ValueMed on Walkers Road or Town. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush. For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a new and second location in Governor's Square. The new Healthcare Pharmacy in Governor's Square is open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report, brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? No, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Stop and ask for directions.
All right, good morning, my friends. Let's take a look at your weather, courtesy of our friends at CG Britcay. Present temperature 83 degrees Fahrenheit. It's cloudy on the outside with some rainfall in the Georgetown vicinity. Light rainfall. Winds are out of the east-southeast at 7 miles per hour. Relative humidity 78%. Last night's dew point was at 75. Barometric pressure now at 29.88 and holding. The upper level system over the northwest Caribbean will continue to support isolated showers through the next 24 hours as it drifts further west of our area. Radar images show scattered showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the west. Our forecast for today calls for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will rise to the low 90s. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Then later this evening, cloudy skies, 40% chances of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. We're now at a high tide. Low tide will be at 2:03 this afternoon. High at 8:42 this evening. For tomorrow, low tide will be at 2:48 a.m. High at 8:13 a.m. Low at 2:30 p.m. and high at 9:03 p.m. Sunset for this evening is at 6:45, and the outlook is for a decrease in cloudiness and showers from Thursday afternoon. That's your latest weather, my friends.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report, brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
All right, once again, good morning, my friends. Be cautious of wet roads as we have some slight rainfall in the Shamrock Road, east-west arterial area. See some wet roads. Be careful while you're driving in. Traffic moving smoothly. And checking at the just outside King Sports Center. Traffic moving on to the Linford Pearson, moving fair to fine. Similar with traffic heading eastward bound. Not much traffic to contend with. Of course, getting closer to the Georgetown area, you'll experience some stop-and-go traffic. Crew Road, looking down from Jose's gas station, some slow traffic. Those turning northwards and continuing on to Shedden Road. Those continuing on to Dorsey Drive, Roberts Drive area. Should experience some light traffic once getting into those areas. Of course, streets in Georgetown getting quite busy at the moment. Some pedestrian movement. Shedden Road, traffic is light. moving fine. Similar with light traffic along Godfrey Nixon Way, but Eastern Avenue, of course, getting a little bit busy this morning time. Of course, taking a look at the Esterly-Tibbetts Highway in the vicinity of the Butterfield roundabout. Of course, very much busy at this time of the morning. And of course, traffic coming off the Esterly-Tibbetts into the Georgetown area. A little bit slow this morning, but of course, starts to pick up once you go around the roundabout. Just be cautious of traffic coming your way there. And of course, the West Bay Road, traffic coming into the Georgetown area, moving fair to fine. Of course, just checking to see if there's any cruise ships in the Georgetown area, which I believe there is one. So be careful of pedestrians moving out and about in the Georgetown area, especially along North Church Street, South Church Street, Seafarers Way, and of course walking through Georgetown itself. Buckle up and stay safe, my friends. Your traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
You see how hard it's raining?
Yeah, and I don't have time to fight traffic and get my lunch from Subway. I have so much work to do.
Why don't you order Subway by using the Let's Eat or Bento app? Save time, stay dry, and get your sandwich fast.
I never thought of that. Great idea. I'm going to order now.
Order me a veggie pizza while you're at it.
And a cookie platter for the office.
Too busy at work or home? Is the rainy weather stopping you from dining out? Order your favorite Subway sandwich, wrap, or pizza through the Let's Eat or Bento app with fast and reliable delivery. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I want to remind you that we have no guests in the studio today. Our toll-free number, provided courtesy of Flo, that toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. If you wish, you can email us at for the record, one word, for the record, at candw.ky, or you can WhatsApp us 925-3261. We're beyond the birthday greeting time, but if more of them come in, we will be sharing them with you as well. So we have happy birthday greetings going out to Mr. Mark Walton, who's 90 years old, or 90 years young today. He's at the Colonel Rest Home in Stake Bay, Cayman Brac. And birthday greetings are coming from his sister, Margarita Borden of Spot Bay as well. So, Mr. Mark Walton, happy 90th birthday to you as well. So, folks, I promised you that we would continue to share the article with you about the Grand Court's decision in relation to the National Conservation Council, the judicial review decision. So I'm going to start all over with it. In a decision released on the 23rd, yesterday, the 23rd of August, 2022, the Grand Court of the Cayman Islands confirmed that the National Conservation Act 2013 provides the National Conservation Council with the ability to direct government bodies in circumstances where action could have an adverse effect on protected areas or species. As a result, the court concluded that the Central Planning Authority acted unlawfully when it approved an application to rebuild a cabana and seawall at Block 5B, Parcel 162 on Bogasan Road in West Bay. The court has quashed the planning approval, which was given contrary to direction from the National Conservation Council. The 51-page decision confirms the NCC, that's the National Conservation Council, has the authority to direct any entity of the government, including ministries, departments, portfolios, statutory authorities, etc., when the taking of an action by an entity would or would be likely to have an adverse effect directly or indirectly on a protected area or on the critical habitat of a protected species, where the adverse impact cannot be satisfactorily mitigated by conditions. In all other circumstances, the originating entity retains its decision-making power. So the exception is when any action by an entity would be likely to have an adverse effect directly or indirectly on a protected area. So this does not in any way diminish the authority of government entities, agencies, ministries, or whatever in terms of conducting, the other things that they have to conduct. But when there is something that would or would be likely to have an adverse effect directly or indirectly on a protected area, that is where the NCC can come in. It goes on to say that the ruling also confirms the National Conservation Act provides the National Conservation Council with an express power of delegation, and that it is lawful for the National Conservation Council to delegate such powers to the Director of the Department of Environment, including the National Conservation Council's powers under Section 41, subsection 5. These powers relate to the ability of the National Conservation Council to instruct an entity, including the Central Planning Authority, to refuse any action that may give rise to an adverse effect on a protected area or the critical habitat of a protected species if the adverse effects cannot be mitigated by conditions of approval as specified by the Department of Environment on behalf of the National Conservation Council. So you hear talk about the fact that we need to try to create a balance, and that is where negotiations come into play, and where conditions can be imposed, and then of course it is incumbent on both sides to, when these negotiations take place and agreements have been made, for all sides to abide by those conditions, as well. So all is not lost in all of this, but it certainly has a profound ruling effect. And I will share more of this with you, but we do have a caller on hold, so we won't delay that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C., and good morning to all our listeners.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing okay. I would like to say happy birthday to Mr. Mark Walton as well. Him and I worked together on the tankers for Cayman Energy. He's a friend of mine, and remembering he is one of the survivors from the National Bulk Carrier ship Sinclair Petrolor that caught fire and exploded off the coast of Brazil in 1960. He's one of the last surviving persons from that mishap. Yes, and also a happy birthday to my youngest daughter, Angelina Scott, which celebrates her birthday today as well.
Okay, happy birthday to Angelina as well.
Yes, understood. And I'm planning to have a ship to come by to celebrate Mr. Mark's 90th birthday in about 2 hours' time off of Spot Bay, Cayman Brac. The ship is loaded with plywood and various types of lumber, millions of feet of lumber coming from Brazil going to Mobile, Alabama. And I would like to say about 2 weeks ago, I had a ship to come by to celebrate the great lady from Spot Bay, Miss Day-Day, as we know her, Day-Day Walton, Miss Liz Walton's mother.
Okay.
I had a ship to come by and did 30 blasts of its horn to celebrate the 90th birthday of Miss Day-Day. And also we have had Miss Ann Walton, which just celebrated her 90th birthday last week as well, and then another lady, Miss Del Walton from Spot Bay.
I think I remember mentioning Miss Ann Walton's name, yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Miss Del Walton, happy birthday to her as well. So they are all great people, and the ship today will be coming by to do that for Mr. Mark.
That's excellent, excellent. Thanks for sharing that with us as well. You have a great day, and enjoy your daughter's birthday with her as well.
Incredible if she's not here with me. She's in Grand Cayman.
Okay.
Yes, she's in Grand Cayman for her birthday today.
Well, we hope and we trust that she enjoys it over here as well. Thank you very much, caller, for that. So, folks, I'm going to switch back over, unless we get another call, to the press release in relation to this judicial review decision. So, Premier and Minister for Sustainability and Climate Resilience, Honorable G. Wayne Panton, is quoted as saying that the Grand Court's decision clarifies the important role that the National Conservation Council plays in safeguarding protected areas and species in the Cayman Islands. He's quoted as saying, not only does this decision confirm the legal relationship between the National Conservation Council and the Central Planning Authority, it also clarifies the implications for all other government entities, giving all parties greater certainty and clarity going forward. He goes on to say that he would like to thank the courts for their consideration of these important legal questions. He's quoted as saying, as the ruling notes, the National Conservation Act is a bespoke piece of legislation developed specifically to protect our invaluable, uniquely Caymanian marine and terrestrial habitats and species. A viable, functioning, natural environment is foundational to a resilient economy and healthy communities. The release goes on to say that the National Conservation Council sought the court's consideration in 2021 after the Central Planning Authority approved an application to rebuild a seawall and cabana on Bogasan Road in West Bay, counter to a National Conservation Council direction not to approve the project due to the potential for negative impacts on the surrounding marine protected area, namely the 7 Mile Beach Marine Reserve. NCC Chairman Mr. McFarlane Connolly said the council was pleased with the court's ruling. He's quoted as saying, this decision provides clarification on a fundamental difference of interpretation of the National Conservation Act between the National Conservation Council and the Central Planning Authority, which we tried many times to resolve before the National Conservation Council applied to the court as a final recourse. The decision confirms the Council acted lawfully in its delegation of powers to the Director of the Department of Environment and that we have acted in accordance with our legal mandate under the National Conservation Act. That's a quote from Mr. McFarlane Connolly. Minister of Sustainability and Climate Resilience Chief Officer Jennifer Ahern confirmed the decision to take the matter to the Grand Court was not taken lightly. We believe, she's quoted as saying, we believe this ruling brings us closer to our constitutional mandate of ensuring the Cayman Islands government shall, in all its decisions, have due regard to the need to foster and protect an environment that is beneficial to the health and well-being of the present and future generations. We look forward to the Central Planning Authority and other entities continuing to work more collaboratively with the National Conservation Council in their considerations. The Department of Environment Director, Gina Ebanks-Petrie, said the DOE welcomed the court's decision. In a quote, she says, this decision will ensure environmental concerns are factored into decision-making processes across the Cayman Islands government, particularly where actions may or are likely to have an adverse effect on a protected area or protected species critical habitat, she's quoted as saying. Now, there's some background information on this as well. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will give you the background information. Now, I noticed that, in all of the comments that are being made, talk about the laws and stuff like that. I have not seen any mention of the, what our Constitution says and does as well. And we have one of the first constitutions around the world that that has included in the Constitution the protection of our environment as well. So these decisions are also ensuring that they're in accordance with our Constitution, the Cayman Islands Constitution Order 2009. Taking a commercial break. If no calls, I will continue to give you the background on this. Folks, this is extremely, extremely important, especially for those persons who have some of the concerns about the development that's taking place in the Cayman Islands. And hopefully this decision here will give more impetus to seeing more protection of our natural habitat in the Cayman Islands. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamp Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamp Motors, Walkers Road.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800 534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have 3 callers queued up. Let's go to the phone lines. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record. Getting a beep there, Paul. Try another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning again, Mr. O.C.
Good morning again, sir.
Yes, sir. I would like to make a report about a Cayman Island registered super yacht that sank off the coast of Italy on Friday at around 1 p.m. with 10 passengers on board, but everybody survived it. The Cayman Island registered yacht My Saga started taking in water and listed to the starboard side and was taken in tow and was being towed to try get it into closer, shallower depths of water. But in the event of doing that, it continued sinking and it went under. Total loss. And the boat is 140 feet long. A super yacht. That's a very...
Was it registered to accompany the Cayman Islands or to an individual?
It's flying the Cayman Island flag registered in Georgetown.
Okay, but you don't know the owner?
Correct. I will find that out, but that information I don't have right now. It was built in the year 2007, and it's 380 gross tons. First, 4 passengers and 1 crew member were rescued by a Romanian patrol boat. Then following that, another 4 passengers and the captain was rescued by other rescue boats in the area. So the cause of the sinking was water started coming in at the stern of the boat and then continued taking in water till it completely sunk and gone. And the location was roughly 9 miles off of Cantassaro Marina in Italy. So that would probably mean it was coming from a marina or headed for a marina in Catanzaro, Italy. Headed from Gallipoli, Italy to Milazzo, Italy. That's where it was traveling from Gallipoli.
Gallipoli.
Yes. And so far, quite interesting or quite sad to know, so far in 2022, there has been 8 motor yachts caught fire, 3 sank and 2 attacked by military operations and war and that kind of thing, and also piracy. 8 caught fire, 3 sank, and 2 attacked. That's 13. That's quite a lot for the first just 8 months of the year gone. For that number of super yachts and mega yachts to be involved in these catastrophes and disasters.
Well, I wonder if there's any coincidence that all of this is happening while many of those yacht owners have been sanctioned by the world bodies in relation to the Ukraine invasion. So I wonder if there's any connection between the two.
Yes, that would give anyone to think such possibilities could be happening. Yes, and also one of those that was seized, one of the yachts that were seized by some of the billionaires. One of the billionaires was auctioned off in Gibraltar just here recently. It was put up for auction and sold where it was seized. So there was quite a number of Cayman Island registered yachts that were in Italy and Spain and various places that were detained and actually arrested into ports that they could not leave. That has an impact on our flagging and registration as well. The Cayman Islands has the world's record of the most mega yachts and super yachts being registered, but there is very stiff competition from the island in the South Pacific named Marshall Islands, where there are many yachts being registered there, and even in Montego Bay, Jamaica, that's another place that are registering mega yachts and super yachts, etc. But we have the record as the most yachts and the most popular place in the world for mega and super yachts registration, and I hope it maintains. All effort has to be made to compete with the other countries that are doing the ship registry for the price of how much per ton and the protection and the availabilities and all the other things to keep us as the number one ship registry in the world.
Got you.
Yacht registry.
Got you. Caller, I want to thank you very much for that. We still have a few other callers queued up. We want to take as many as we possibly can. Thank you very much for passing that information, sharing that information with us as well. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning. I'm an hour?
Yes, you are.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know. I was told I was number 3 in line. So. Morning, OC, and thanks for reading out that little blurb there in regards to this decision. I find it quite interesting that after all this time, we're finally heading somewhere towards a little bit of our conservation efforts to maintain something in regards to what's happening on the island. And, you know, it's just come up that in regards to this, and I don't know how far this will go within it, but I've been made to understand that there is an indigenous piece of dry forest in the Fairbanks area, which is up for sale. I think something like $4.5 million or something. And it's part of where they found this plant that only grows here in the Cayman Islands and nowhere else in the world. And right now, it's something that I think government should look into this as well. I don't think it should be left just to the hands of developers to jump in there and buy this. Even though the owners of it are Caymanian and they want to get money out of their land, which I'm sure it's an inheritance land now. It's not, but it's somewhere close to the area of the schools. And I think it should be something that should be preserved for the future. You can make a green space there within it or something that, and have it for educational purposes and use for the future generation. I don't know that it's that big. I probably think it's, I don't know, maybe 4 acres or something. But still,
it looks like it may be large. It may be larger than that. Is it?
Is it? I'm not sure.
I'll try to check and see. I saw some commentary on it on social media. WhatsApp group yesterday. I'll try to see what I can find, in relation to it as well. Go ahead. Keep on talking.
Yeah, but evidently it's high and dry. Well, we all know that area, man. It's, and being what it is, and a lot of high indigenous trees and stuff on it. So I don't know sometimes where we think we're making more land in Cayman by digging out one area to make another one within the mangroves of what we're doing, But I just wanted to bring this out there to the attention of the public, because even if the public, let's say overall public, could do some, I don't know what, fundraising amongst themselves, and come up with even a small donation of $1,000 to $5,000 or something, and get together to help this and try and put together and buy it on an open market, for what it is, and try and save it for future generations. They could indebt it to the National Trust or something where make it inalienable so that they could preserve it in the future, you know.
Well, we have an environmental protection fund, and there's quite a bit of money, I believe, still in that fund. I wonder whether or not the rules and the protocols allow for monies to be used, you know, for the purpose of acquiring land to continue to protect our environment. That's one way. To protect our environment, we have to preserve it, it as well, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm just thinking, I mean, it's so close to the schools, where the schools are an open compound. It gets hot. You go there, you're sweating. There's not enough trees left around. This place, heavily wooded, a beautiful, nice little park in the center of Georgetown. There would be such, you know, so much beneficial to it, and in same time preserving the openness of it. It can be underbrushed. It can be kept, you know, and it's a dry area.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just putting more condos on it, and whoever you're actually building these condos for, right there. I mean, you go across to the baseball field, there's a gazillion. Southtown area is you know, we talk about the older heritage of Ireland and what we're doing, and we're not trying to preserve any of it, but we need to look at this more seriously now, because a lot of people, a lot of the future generations of Camannia, your children, my children, the next person's children, they're not going to see any of this if this keeps up.
That is so true.
You know, and I understand that right here in the Walker's Road area, that they just destroyed a natural stone wall that was built from rock of ages time. I really don't know. I'm not sure exactly where it's located, but I know there were some old stone walls along the Walker's Road area where it joined Southtown,
mm-hmm.
and close to the Webster's area and such. But it's all part of what's happening. You know, if we can save these things, let's try and teach somebody. Let's put it back together. You know, let's not just destroy it and use it to fill into the earth where it's gone. I mean, the forefathers of yesterday, they toiled to make those things, and, you know, and it's just something that, you know, government needs to take a serious look at this instead of just saying, well, okay, John Brown has bought this, he's got money, he's going to build 10 condos or 50 condos, whatever, on it, right? And, you know, it's major something for the island to think about.
Certainly.
You know, everybody needs to come together on this.
Yeah, well, I think, and it's easy to say, well, let's put some money together and purchase it, but you have to have structures in place to be able to do that as well, and how quickly that can be done before someone actually grabs this property up. Because we see, I mean, money in the Cayman Islands when it comes to land purchases is flowing. It's flowing freer than the Caribbean Sea that surrounds us here in the Cayman Islands. So in less than no time, I'm sure that someone, some entity or some person is going to grab that piece of property up, and that's basically the end of it, you know, as well. Caller, I'm going to ask you to leave us there. We have to take a commercial break, and but it was good certainly conversing with you, and maybe hopefully we will hear some more from others in this regard as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
JN Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the Record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Elsie. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm fine, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. You are a lonely man today, so we have to keep you company.
Thank you.
I mean, yes. You know, it was very good to hear last night of what you talked about earlier on about the case, the environmental case.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have to read it, you know, in great detail and sort of like fully understand what it means. But up to this point, I think what the premium and what Gina Ebanks-Piltry have said about its impact, I think it's absolutely accurate, because there was an attempt, you know, during the old West Bay Road case to try and reduce environmental rights to sort of like a second class of rights, because they said, oh, but environmental rights are not rights like the other rights in the Bill of Rights.
Mm-hmm.
These are more like responsibilities of government. In other words, you know, like they do not deserve that much protection. And it's good to see that in this particular case they said, hey, look, there's a department which is created to protect the environment, and once they give you a directive that this should not be given, that overrides, you know, your whatever views you may have, because they're the ones who have this primary responsibility to deal with that. So, I mean, having been involved in a small way with beach access as an attorney, and later on just as a member of the public, I just found that really gratifying, and people, I think, are right rejoicing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, talking about the court again, my own little case is up before the Court of Appeal next Wednesday.
Okay.
1 week today. It will be on at 10 o'clock Cayman time. I will argue it on Zoom, but it will be streamed live on the internet. The link will be available on the Judicial and Legal website in the same way that people usually access that. It will be on for 3 hours. I will be arguing it against Mr. Tom Law, QC, Reshma Sharma, QC, and also Crown Counsel Heather Walker. So it will be one Lone Ranger on this side against that powerhouse on the other side. But more importantly, in terms of what affects the public, there are about 13 issues to be decided there, but I think the two that really the public will be interested in are as follows.
Mm-hmm.
One of the issues to be discussed is, because I have sued a judge, my good friend Mr. Ian Kawali, I have sued a judge. That has never happened in the Cayman Islands before. So the Court of Appeal, one of the first things that they have to decide is whether a judge can be sued. Now, I have alleged bad faith against a judge. There's been no proof of any bad faith against anybody. But they have to decide the point of law first. Once they decide the point of law as to whether you can sue a judge if you allege bad faith, then I am hoping that they will say, yes, you can, and then you can go to the Grand Court, and then there will be an actual evidentiary hearing to say whether or not there was bad faith. So that's one. That's very important for a lot of people, because people who have contacted me have said, well, look, we have complained to this authority and that authority about this judge, but they haven't done anything. But can we sue the judge? So this is their answer to say this might be an additional option if the Court of Appeal says so. Okay. The second one also is very important, OC. The Constitution says that everybody has got a right to go to court to have their rights determined within a reasonable time. The Constitution doesn't say what a reasonable time is. The Chief Justice has given a directive to say a reasonable time is 3 months unless there are countervailing circumstances. So my allegation is that mine took 42 months to decide. It is too long. Yes, I've also argued to say that, look, the Privy Council has said if you take 1 year to decide an immigration matter, it is too long. So what we are hoping to get is to get the Court of Appeal to state what is a reasonable time, or at least to say, is 42 months a reasonable time in the circumstances? So that one also is a very important one, because I know people who have spent time like 3-4 years in jail and then they are acquitted because the case took too long. Those people also need to know whether they have they can get some right.
And how long your hearing supposed to last? Just 1 day, or is it scheduled to go?
Well, I was hoping for 2 days, but they only set it down for 3 hours.
Okay.
And then you see the other problem with it is that I have applied that all the judges should recuse themselves. So if they recuse themselves, then it has to be adjourned. If they don't recuse themselves, then we will argue this point. But it's only for 3 hours, OC, and so we'll see how that works out.
Now asking a judge to recuse themselves, I believe, and I'm not a lawyer. You're the lawyer, but that is sometimes viewed as a serious, extremely serious request. Can there be any repercussions as a result of that? Could the courts in any way take umbrage? I may not be using the right word there, but umbrage to the fact that you're asking judges to recuse themselves. What you're saying is you might be insinuating that they can't be trusted to rule against their own.
You know, see that question always arises, and in applying for judges to recuse themselves, one has to be cognizant of the fact that these are human beings, and that in a way sometimes you would be suggesting that the judge might not decide the case fairly. But you see, there are various categories of that. There are cases where basically you do not doubt the integrity of the particular court which will hear the matter, but you are saying that it may be perceived as if they are not objective. It is like the old the rule which says nobody must be a judge in your own cause. You can't sit in a judge and in a case and decide a case which involves a member of the family. That does not necessarily mean that you won't decide it fairly. But let us imagine that, your member of the family is successful. Then it will be seen as if they are successful. Why? Because you are a member of the family. So what I'm trying to do here is I've tried to say, well, look, it's not a problem of me doubting the integrity of the three judges, but how does it look to the public? You are sitting to adjudicate on a case where the principal person on the other side is a judge who is one of you. And if I lose the case, are people going to say, oh, I'm quite sure it was fair? Or are people going to say, well, it was because they were judges in their own cause, no pun intended, okay? So that's the thing. But I do have some other arguments there, because I think the behavior of certain judges has shown that I think it is better if you have somebody else who comes out of there. But you are right, OC. It is one of those which is very important. In fact, the Judicial Code of Conduct provides some guidelines which I have cited in the court documents. Basically, what it says is that, look, if it appears that there could be issues of perception of justice, it is the duty of the judge to recuse themselves early before they hear the matter, because otherwise, if they hear the matter and then these problems survive, then it might just complicate an already complex matter, and then if it goes on appeal, if it is set aside, then the confidence in the judiciary is undermined. There's quite some guidelines to guide judges on how to deal with that, and we'll see how this court handles that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Billy, and keep us up to speed with what's happening as well. Where you can do that. There may be instances where you can't tell us a whole lot because of the case going on. But thanks for sharing all of that with us as well.
Thank you, Elsie. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Okay, we do have another caller on hold, but we're going to go to our headline news. That is very short, top of the hour. When we return, we're going to take the next caller or any other callers who may call in. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
In a decision released Tuesday night, the Grand Court said the Central Planning Authority acted, quote, unlawfully when it approved an application to rebuild a cabana and seawall on Boggy Sand Road in West Bay. The court has therefore quashed the 2021 planning approval, which was given contrary to the direction from the National Conservation Council. Democratic voters have picked Congressman Charlie Crist to take on Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis in the midterm elections. Mr. Crist beat the state's Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried in the last big election before November's vote. Democrats are eager to eclipse rising star DeSantis amid expectations he will run for the White House in 2024. Voters in New York and Oklahoma also picked candidates on Tuesday. And the 2020 police killing of a motorist in a car park of a Georgia fast food restaurant was, quote, legally justified, according to a special prosecutor. 27-year-old Rashard Brooks was fatally shot about 3 weeks after the killing of George Floyd sparked international racial justice protests. Brooks, who was black, was gunned down after fighting with two white officers who were trying to arrest him. Civil rights groups said a grand jury should have reviewed the case. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. The phone lines are open and people continue to call in. I'll just remind you the toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037, 949-6990. Email For the Record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261. Two callers on hold. Let's grab the first caller who's been waiting for quite a while. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Orrit.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, all right. Boy, first time I seen this, I never really noticed it. It's like a little kind of brownish haze in the horizon in town. Pretty nice. That I think is the Sahara dust. I don't know.
We see cool. Quite a bit of that throughout the island. That dust, yeah.
Yeah, but I not really pass the scenic view too often. But what I noticed this morning going through town, I mean, it's chaos in my opinion. I don't know how to explain how the monitoring of the tourists and like an enforcement is going on in the area, in the waterfront.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it is just, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, one particular pedestrian cross have a police dancing in the middle of the road, directing traffic. One tourist waiting to cross. He don't know if he should cross yet or not. He is only directing one side of the traffic, and the other side is wondering if he crosses, he doing something wrong. You know, it just like a bunch of confusion inside of the town I see. But you know what? I think that if they was to think of another way how to inform the tourists before they come off of the road, I mean, come onto the road in the Cayman Islands after they get off the cruise ship, like a bullhorn or something in the front of the terminal, that where they would state out something like, you know how like when you is directed in the airport to which terminal you can go to for this air flight or something like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, there should be something that is exploded out into the airs of these tourists, how to cross the road, use the pedestrian cross, remember to stay on the lane, do not cross them without the pedestrian, you know, stuff like this. It could be a big use for them because they come in like, you know what I've seen? That they have some of the taxi drivers even teaching them how to cross the road without the pedestrian cross.
Yeah, and but what do you think about what are your views in relation to the mixture of traffic and pedestrians in that area? Now, there are persons who advocate that it should be completely closed off to traffic for certain periods of time, and just traffic should be diverted to through other streets. Now, those who drive vehicles are usually opposed to that because they feel that the roads are designed for them and sometimes only, you know, for them, which is a wrong approach to take as well. But the balance that we need to create, everyone is in a rush to go nowhere. Everyone is in a rush to go nowhere. If they take the time and be considerate of others. But a serious thought has to be given to closing off the area between 4th Street and Gorin Avenue to vehicular traffic for some periods of time. We have to do that.
Yeah, it's either they close the roads for the public, or they just make it, if you're mandatory that you have to go through this road, then you take this road. But it should be advised that the public should not be taking this road unless they necessarily have to go there. Because they have other stores that people go to, but none of these stores they can stop at. What are they going to do? They're going to go into the parking lots up in a flagship building or something? They don't have none of those things, so where are they going?
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand a lot of people love to see the little view. They take pictures of the cruise ships when they come in every day. I mean, what is it that we are missing on this island? It's going to be there forever. So, I mean, I understand there's a lot of people love the scenic view. I like the scenic view personally, but it's too hectic for me sometimes to even go through there. And you know, the way how I see some things going on too is not even the traffic. You know that I've noticed that the public buses, now I'm going to get to the public buses because it kind of frustrates me knowing that I have to rely on the public bus sometimes because I don't have a driver's license and I get to ride sometimes with the public bus. And when I know that the public buses are so hungry for this foreign money, and I understand that, people need money, people need the customers, but there's also the public. That's why it's called the public bus. And the public bus, I don't think that they should be going out in the front of the waterfront, picking up a half a dozen, 2 dozen people waiting for a bus, 2 dozen tourists waiting to go West Bay. and try to fill up and stuff their bus. They don't even want to stop at the bus stop to get in the border no more.
So they're allowed to take cruise ship passengers as well, the public buses?
This is what I'm getting to, Mr. Or I think that it should be, and I don't know if it is a law against this going on, but I think that the tourists is not a priority to these public bus drivers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I understand if they're coming from 7 Mile Beach and they want to go back town, that they catching a public bus, yeah. But coming from the cruise ships, it shouldn't be like a taxi service that the public buses come in and empty just because they want to pick up the tourists and carry them into the place. This shouldn't be privileged for the public fees.
Mm-hmm. Okay, caller, I'm going to ask you to leave us there. We do have 3 other callers queued up, but thanks for your concerns, and maybe someone else will, who's queued up here, will harp in on what you have had to say as well. Let's see what the next caller has to say. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
All right, man. I called here from the Brock as usual.
Okay, good to hear your voice. I hadn't heard you for a while. Figure you might have been on vacation.
No, taking care of them bottlers, man. Yeah. I called this morning with the topic of 2 B's. The first one is the barge, and the second one is the beaches.
Okay.
I can understand what that is, young man, you're talking about with the cruise ship, because every time I came on, it's a struggle to go through them areas. But anyway, I can leave that for them down there. The first one is the barge here in the Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, for certain, I can tell in the border the Cayman Islands is going in reverse, especially Cayman Brock and Little Cayman. Years ago, when Meisner Marine came here in the 80s and put down that dock right up the creek, we had roll-on and roll-offs coming here to bring our stuff, big ships. Now today we down to a barge. Not only today, we had that now for the last 2 decades on or more. And it don't seem like our government is willing to come on board and try to stop Bing from doing what he's doing with this barge and try to get us a ship. And why I say that is, time after time, OC, that barge is designed for rivers, not open oceans. People have their properties on, or they not their properties, their items on board that barge in containers, their windows, their vehicles, and time after time we get vehicles come on this dock here out of those containers. OC, you would swear that the vehicles have been in a rollover crash, where the cars are rolling back and forth in those containers and mashing up before they get here for the people to claim the items.
Wow.
And it is a sad situation to know that our country is sitting in this state and the government sitting with their hands tied to their back, like what the old man had told them. He went to district admin up here one time and he told the commissioner, he said, if you tell me your hands tied this morning, I got to chop them loose. It's about high time that the people look after Cayman Rock and Little Cayman. There's not much they can do for Little Cayman, because where the dock is in Little Cayman, there's not much can lay on the side of that dock because of the dock not protruding far enough off of the shore. The water is totally deep, but the dock is so small. But Cayman Rock has got one of the most sophisticated docks probably at the time. In the 80s was what was put here. And today, I remember when, you remember Joel Francis that used to be commentator on the radio? One old man up here, I told him I not call the old man by name, but he told Joel Francis, he said, Cayman Brock, he said the Cayman Islands had gotten like a lobster going to storm all the time. And the lobster don't crawl forward, he crawled backward. That is our islands, OC.
Yeah. So the company that that provides the shipping to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, do they have exclusive rights to that? Because you mentioned the fact that the government should do something, about it, but one would question whether or not it is the government's responsibility to provide the shipping, or whether they should provide conditions to encourage shippers to operate between the 2 islands, or between the 3 islands. Sorry,
yeah,
as well. And sometimes competition is good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not that the government can provide a ship. But they can provide the conditions. They can get the conditions changed because we have boats that come here from Jamaica to pick up stuff that take back to Jamaica. People ships out their stuff, one or two times annually.
Okay.
We got better ships coming from there to here than what we got coming from Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac. We have a barge. The water have to be smooth for that barge to not have any problems on board. And this has been happening for years, and nobody seems to want to take these problems in hand and say, listen, we need to get someone just to speak on this concerning it and try to stop it, or at least try to get some help.
Okay.
But the next thing was, I want
very quickly for me, please.
Yeah, very quickly with the beaches. We had one area on the south side here on the Brac, because Cayman Bracas don't have any way more to go to swim. They tore it down, which was Old Tiara Beach. That is my cry this morning that whoever in government is listening, for them to purchase that piece of Old Tiara Beach premises, that the people on this island can have somewhere to go, that they can have a beach and somewhere to swim. We don't have nowhere. We're running out. People are putting up walls across their properties on the beach, and we can't go nowhere. If the government is if someone is listening, if they could think about trying to get that piece of land for the people of the Brac, where we can have somewhere that our children will have in the future somewhere to swim. Thank you. We'll see you this morning.
Thank you very much. You have a great day. Let's grab another caller before we go to our next commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. A couple of times, I think earlier today, I heard a caller talking something about judges, and I think last week I heard something about it. So I just thought I would mention something that I'm aware of.
Okay.
This happened some years ago, and when you're talking about unjust judges, I witnessed 3 of them, not local people. I'm not going to say which country they're from, but in a case where the plaintiffs were concerned, the defendants were always given, given priority or preference. And on many instances, in many instances, and it was very noticeable how the prejudice of this was done. So don't think they're lily white because they're called a judge. And like I said, I witnessed this with 3 different judges from one nationality, and it was terrible how that went on over a period of years. I don't want to accuse anyone wrongfully, but I witnessed some of this, and I'm pretty sure I'm not telling any lies on anyone, and I'm pretty sure I was certain of what I believe happened, and was totally wrong. I just hope we don't have that situation anymore.
Well, Mr. Tommy, one of the things in the earlier days, there was no oversight of judges, not much in terms of regulations or in enforcement of regulations. We know, for instance, I was thinking the other day when we were talking about the eastern end of the island, the Tamarind Tree. Now, Tamarind Tree was very notorious, just like Matilda Corner was notorious in a certain extent. But the Tamarind Tree in the off Shedden Road was an iconic tree. You know, while men may have sat under there and play cards and stuff like that, you know, it was also a place where Caymanians congregated, they talked and stuff like that. Now, I believe that at some stage there was a judge who ordered that Tamarind Tree should be cut down. Now, in this day and age, if a judge was to make that sort of order, I believe that there are so many implications in relation to that, you know, protection of the environment and everything else, that couldn't happen. So what you're talking about are those days when there was really not a whole lot of oversight when it comes to judges. Now, some may argue that while we have our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and everything in place, that there are still, you know, some that is lacking. I leave that more for the people in the legal fraternity to decide that. But what you're saying is exactly right. There were no constraints whatsoever.
Well, what actually happened after several years of like they say, going back and forth, the Chief Justice took it in his hands and had a mediation and brought the case to a head.
Mm-hmm.
If that hadn't happened, I don't know what else would have happened any longer. But I couldn't but help to disclose that I saw such impartiality in three different judges that it was sickening. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So you have a great day. Please stay safe as well.
You too.
Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue. I think we still have other callers on hold as well. We will take your calls as soon as we return, so please stay tuned.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
J&M Money touching down again. Now you can send your US dollars at any location on island, including the BRAC. It's easy. Just walk with your US dollars. No need to convert to CI. This is another convenient service available at J&M Money. They always find a way to make it easier and hassle-free. So remember, when you need to send your money and you only have US dollars, don't ever think of what to do. Just head straight to any J&M Money location and send your money the fast, convenient, and affordable J&M Money. J&M Money, touching down again. J&M Money, ranga to la friend.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Whether it's routine care or highly complex surgery, when it comes to your health, you want the best. Health City has Cayman's most comprehensive range of in-house medical services. Recognized for quality and excellence, Health City brings together expert doctors, the best technology, and the latest techniques to understand your health and ensure you get the care you need. From Camana Bay to East End, you can trust the team at Health City. Health City, world-class healthcare within your reach.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes. Good morning, O.C.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, O.C. First of all, before I get into the main subject, O.C., I would really like to wish Mr. Mark Walter a happy birthday today. He's one of the first guys that I met up here when I came up here, and he was very helpful in helping me get the house that we live in well put back together on.
Okay.
Really helpful, and I hope you have a nice birthday. Oh, see, I got some bulletins sometime this morning that the chairman of Cayman Airways, Mr. Scott, is
resigned.
Yes,
resigned.
And also that they sort of got another pilot back that didn't have captain status, but they brought him back for 6 months. So when he retires, he would get retirement, I guess, pay or whatever.
Because he was as a captain, and then when he returned, he didn't return as a captain. So they're now elevating his status back to captain, it appears. So that when he retires, I guess that he retires as a captain, which would.
Well, it would mean that he would get a bigger chunk of change.
Yeah. When I was cabinet secretary, I had a head of a department who was seeking, and I won't call a name, but who was seeking to get a promotion just, a few months or so before they retired, which meant that their pension would have been substantially increased as a result of that promotion. And, that to me, I couldn't, it couldn't be justified, and I wasn't about to do it, and I didn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I mean, the Cayman Airways is financed by the Cayman Island government. Right? No,
subsidized,
come on now. I mean, this kind of thing really, really, really need to stop. I mean, the Cayman, when the time the government is responsible pays, I mean, it affects every Caymanian. That is simple. Because you just for a few more dollars, come on now, man. I expect better than that from a Cayman Island government. I expect better. And they need to do better. Because when people read those kind of things and see those kind of things happening, you got to wonder who is really the money grabbers in the Cayman Islands, And also, I hope we get some improvements with like what the guy said about with the shipping from Cayman to Cayman Brac, because it's ridiculous. I mean, in this day and age, man, you got to depend on about badge every 7 days to come in. I mean, we could do better than that. Cayman Islands supposed to do better than that. Thank you very much, O.C.
Okay, thanks,
bye-bye.
Caller, as well for that. Yeah, the topic about shipping to the Brac, it's so funny, and it's ironic, not funny. It's ironic to a certain extent. We call ourselves a seafaring people, seafaring country, built on seafaring. And yet, transportation between two islands, less than 100 miles. And we're struggling with that. The question is, why? Why are we struggling with that? My question was asked before, whether or not that route, Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, whether or not it is a franchise, whether or not it is a protected route, or whether or not it is open for anyone who legally and has the wherewithal to comply with all of the regulations, maritime regulations and whatever, to operate transport between Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. And if it's open to competition, then where are our seafaring Caymanians who used to do that? I mean, I was looking on the Tradewinds newspaper, and we had boats in the Cayman Islands. They were being built by Mr. Baxter Hurlston. They were being built by people in the Brac and everything. It doesn't happen anymore. What is happening to us? So, Brackers, throw out some suggestions there. Someone needs to come up with a plan. If you're not happy with the way that you're receiving goods between Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac and Little Cayman in this day and age. If we can't solve that issue, Houston, we have a problem. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Peter Schmidt here.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Good to hear from you.
Thank you. I'm well, thank you. I hope same for you. Two things. One, from a few callers back, talking about public transport issues. You know, it's a misnomer to say that we have a public transport system in this island, because the people do not follow, the operators are independent contractors to begin with. They do not follow a prescribed route. They follow the route that brings them the most profit. Mm-hmm. So that obviously cannot work. You cannot rely on public transport to get you where you need to go at the appointed time, because there is no schedule and there is no fixed route that will operate no matter what. Mm-hmm. So we do not have a public transportation system. And what we have now is a bunch of independent operators that drive a prescribed area in terms of districts. But if they think a particular road has, because of maybe the type of residences that are along that road where everybody would have their own car, so they figure we're not going to get anything there unless it is prime time in the morning or prime time in the evening when the domestic employees may be moving, well, otherwise we won't get any money, so we're not going there. Mm-hmm. And I see that all the time. You know, there are quite a bit of, as you know, we had quite a bit of population growth in West Bay, and I know that people that are renting in homes, you know, that rent a studio or a room or something, they like to get to work, and they say, well, they can't, that they have to walk a half a mile or further to actually go to a point where the bus that is supposed to come along that main route that they are on, they'll be actually able to catch that jitney or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So there is that. Now the next issue that I want to quickly touch on, the continuing saga surrounding Cayman Airways. and of course, last night the news was out again. It was a bit disjointed. You know, with the resignation of the chairman of the board. And I think there is a lot more that has not been said so far on that particular issue. But in terms of the promotion of this senior airline executive and pilot, Captain Thompson, for the younger one of the two Thompsons I'm talking about.
Yes.
I think that was a gesture more than anything. It is not a financial thing. Okay. Unfortunately, and I can speak from personal experience, there is no difference whether you retired as a captain or whether you retire as a first officer or you retire as a cabin crew. There you have the mandatory pension that came into effect some years back. That was the first time that Cayman Airways had followed the pension scheme, and that is what you're drawing on no matter what the rank or position was when you retired, unless you were a person of special consideration and the details of that would not be publicly
disclosed.
Available. So that I understand the motivation for letting Kel Thompson retire as a captain. As a matter of fact, I was on a recent flight, and the person that was supervising him was actually hired when I was chief pilot, and Kel Thompson had been a captain long before that pilot was even hired. So it was kind of funny. But anyway, I think it was a gesture of sort. I don't think Kel Thompson is particularly looking for the money from Cayman Airways to conduct his life before nor after. So there's a lot of things that are not visible to the public. So you have not much material on which you base an opinion which of course is the lowest sort of kind of quality of comment.
Yes.
And so that's all I have for you this morning.
Thanks for some clarity on that as well. Speaking from experience and being involved with Cayman Airways as well. That is really appreciated.
Can I add one thing then?
Sure.
Okay. You were speaking of maritime, and you were discussing some maritime issues with transport to the sister islands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite agree with you 100% about your statement that it is not the government's responsibility to provide transportation or cargo services between the sister islands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from experience in traveling Canada and even the UK and other places, there are government ferries.
Okay.
Same thing in Scandinavia that provide service to the people in the outlying areas, because most of those outlying areas, if I can call that, they suffer from the same thing. They suffer from a small customer base, which makes it very difficult to make a commercial profit.
Mm-hmm.
And so oftentimes if serving those communities is left to private enterprise, which is profit motivated,
right,
then that becomes very difficult. And so Cayman has the maritime history, but we also have an aviation history now, and none of the esteem and recognition goes to the aviators as goes to the mariners. And there are quite a few of us that spent our life career in the service to the Cayman Islands via working for the official carrier of the Cayman Islands. Yet once we retire, we become invisible.
Well, that should be another celebration for our National Heroes Day as well. So we'll talk more about that and promote that some more as well.
Maybe some help with some medical benefits and things like that.
Sure.
But anyway, you have a good day.
Thank you very much for that. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. We still have about 3 callers queued up. When we return, we will take those calls, so please stay tuned.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
We're not ready for summer to be over. Parker's Raceway is offering an end-of-summer special for an all-out racing weekend, August 27th and 28th. Purchase one ticket, you get in for both days. Tickets are available in-store at Ace, Parker's, and online at parkersraceway.com. Don't forget to pick up your free kids ticket. We've got a whole new game area just for them. Shout out to our sponsors, Monster, Valvoline, AI Rentals, Event Pro, VP Racing Fuels, Parker's, NGK Spark Plugs, and Reliable Industries. Get your tickets for August 27th and 28th at parkersraceway.com.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have less than half an hour left in the show. We have 4 callers queued up. What we've done is we've sort of like put a block after those 4 callers for now. If we're able to accommodate all of those callers and we still have time left, we will open back up the phone lines. But those of you who are queued up now, stay right in there because we're going to take your calls starting with the first caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine, thanks.
I want to bring something to your attention this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard about the Cayman Islands Festival Queen First Edition coloring book made in England.
No, I haven't.
Well, I'm going to give you a little piece of it. It's called the Cayman Islands Festival Queen First Edition coloring book. And it was the person that brought this to the festival Queen Week was a guy by the name of Dwight McLean, but his first name is Richard. But we know him by Dwight, and he's in England, and he seemed like it made in England. At least England's doing a little more here, and what for him, what they're doing for me. And anyway, it tells you, and it's a good coloring book, and we'll see because they've got different headings about Cayman. And I think that we should try to get them here and let the children in our school color them because they would know about the national bird.
So where is it available?
Well, you see, I got these from him. He sent these to me,
mm-hmm.
and I have 5 of them I have 5 of them, one for myself, and 4 others for the 4 contestants. And I would like to get hold of the 4 contestants, but it's one that I can't get hold of, and I will call her name for her. That's more today. I have one for the late Ileana de la Cruz, and I can't get hold of her.
And tell me the name. Can you repeat the name of the book again? What is it called?
It's called Cayman Island Festival Queen.
Okay.
First edition coloring book. And it tells you, it got a little history in it because it got about the national bird. It even, let me go through it quick then. The first one is the butterfly queen, the Cayman national bird, the hibiscus, the silver-touch palm, the red-footed boogie bird, the Cayman Island national bird, the green sea turtle, the living reef, chest of the treasurer, 10 eyes, many cultures, one celebration, education is the future, age of romance, the Isle of Gem. I think this is what the first edition have in it. Hello?
Yeah. I'm listening to you.
And that's what they have in the first edition. Now, I wouldn't have it in the second edition because I don't think he even started that yet. But it's a nice book, and I think we should get it here and put it in our schools because at least the children will know something about the Festival Queen because when it's time for Festival Queens and different things, the young ladies don't know, so they can't enter it. And maybe in the schools, because children get things early, they will know about it when they get a certain age. So if we could get some of these and put in the school, but I would meet up with you. And Paul has my number, and I asked him to give it to you. I would meet up with you, and me and you can talk about it.
Yeah, well, I'm trying. I'll do some research on it to see what I can find. About it as well.
It just come out, and I mean, it is coming from the office in London.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the Cayman Islands office in London.
Yeah.
Well, they're better positioned than anyone else to contact the relevant government entities, within the Cayman Islands to make them aware of it and to give it more publicity as well. They're better positioned than anyone else.
Yeah, well, that's the only way I can help in this way.
But thank you, thanks for bringing it to our attention.
And I want to also tell you this, go on Mood Museum. and you will find Mood Museum in Italy. You will find my work there. I got my work there. It's going to be there for 5 years.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Thank you very much for that. We're going to try to grab another caller because we're running out of time.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC. How you doing, brother?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
All right. I got two little topics I hit on. First of all, the shipping thing.
Mm-hmm.
When Thompson first came here, they was running a ship used to come here until Grand came on developed, and then they got bigger ship and say it wasn't worthwhile for them coming here. Now, then, two local Cayman Brackers, one Captain Banks from the West End, he bought a ship, and they were doing pretty good because most of their money was off of fuel. And then they lost that ship, and then three locals from the east of the Tamarind Tree, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. Well, three people, Cayman Brackers, I can call their name, Captain Lee Martin, Captain Talbot Tatum, and Mr. Emil Dixon. Two of them bought a supply boat. And the main merchants from up here instructed, they put nothing in that ship that belonged to me.
Wow.
I don't care how it get here. So they was making money off of selling fuel to the company, to the power light.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they were doing their money. And unfortunately, they lost that ship off of Cuba. Then Thompson said, well, okay, now, my brother, I can put a barge on, I have nowhere to run. And then the fuel started to come here by tanker, and that's the story in that. But you know what gets me? Because I use Thompson every week, I got a business. But you know what burned me? And after the pandemic, they done it. Oh, see, they are charging you in U.S. and converting it at 84 cents. So me, the local, that have to pay in CA, I am getting charged 4 cents on every dollar. While the big companies like that, and all the big hotels, they are paying in U.S. And that is banking, and it is discrimination against the small local businessman. Also, I can leave that there. The second one now, I done it yesterday on the radio, but I would like to congratulate the government on their move toward the decriminalization of marijuana. And now I'm pounding another horse now. I want the people of the Cayman Islands, the parents, the school teachers, the police, encourage the young Caymanians to join the police force.
Yes, good point.
Look at the burden is off the back now. They can't look at them and say, look here, you got in a rush, a little better for smoking weed, you know. That is out, and that's what kept our young Caymanians away. And those that isn't there, that has the power to think, they wanted it that way. Let me tell you something. They've done a really good job of it. You hear what I tell you? So I want all of the things when they want to stop the locals from fishing the groupers. They had it in every school every day. They parking back in. Well, go to the school now and back to tell the young Caymanians, join the police force. There's plenty of position in the force, you know. It's not just on the street. There's plenty of position, right? So, see, that is my little thought this morning. Thank
you very much. And someone has sent a WhatsApp message in relation to the shipping in the BRAC, and hopefully I'll be able to share that with you before we go off the air. We're going to take our last commercial break. We still have 2 callers on hold. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
So much happening so fast, too much. It is hard for me to follow my health care instructions. The private counseling with West Bay Pharmacy literally saved my life.
At West Bay Pharmacy, we know how complex medications can be. Our pharmacists are delighted to offer you personalized one-on-one healthcare counseling, free medication review, therapeutic callbacks, and we will liaise with your physician to ensure you receive the best in quality medical care.
Quality of life has a whole new meaning with the right pharmacy to support you. Thank you, West Bay Pharmacy.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Now you can WhatsApp your West Bay Pharmacy prescriptions to 516-0777.
Flex is what's next. Flex is a line of 24-volt cordless power tools for professional craftsmen. Now through October 1st, you will receive a free 5-amp-hour battery with the purchase of a Flex bare tool and charger, as well as instant savings of up to $150 on a $500 purchase. All Flex tools that you buy this year will be covered under the Flex Founders Lifetime Warranty. Get what's next at A.L. Thompson's now through October 1st.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Did you know that you must discard fresh fruits and vegetables, meats, foods in canisters, dented, leaking, or rusting cans after they have come in contact with floodwater? For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going back to the phone lines. We still have two callers on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I got to make a couple of statements. The first one is with the shipping. Back years ago, we had iron men and wooden ships. Today we got the opposite. So go figure. I have to agree with Captain Schmidt with the airline industrial business. And also, I have known Kel Thompson, you would say, all my life. And he is a very, very humble individual. And trust me, he is not one, from my experience, this is, that is looking to you would say to get what he can get out of Cayman.
Yeah, I think Captain Schmidt made that quite clear that he knows more about the situation, and that's the case. He knows that. Yeah.
And that is Captain Kell's passion, flying. He's had that for years that I've known him, and he is very, very humble, and I do think that he deserves it, to be quite honest. I do welcome the judicial review report. Like I've said before, planning department has given or is given the power to abuse people and situations. I've mentioned it more than once, and I still stand by that. I know what I'm talking about. I've been there. I've seen it. I witnessed it firsthand. So I really, really welcome that. And like I think it was my cousin that called in about the piece of land up Collier's area. I think that we got not only that one, but one in the Brack as well. I think government should be looking at certain areas that, hey, look, these are private properties. They're up for sale. Let us make it available for our people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome, Lucy.
Let's grab our last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. And not, Billy say you're kind of lonely, but you're not lonely no more.
No, I had lots of company this morning. Very thankful and grateful for it.
Yes, thank you. This is a tourism matter, and it's been said over and over again, but no government has stepped in and did anything about it. We were up in Florida a couple of weeks ago, and so happened I was at a store that the cashier asked me if I was from the Bahamas, and I said no, I was from the Cayman Islands. And she said, where is that? Okay, I started to explain. I told her we're next door. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, how do you get here? By boat? And I said, no. I says, we have our own airline, and then some of your airlines, or most airlines that fly there, is from United States, and start naming them all out. And her eyes grew bigger and bigger. They don't know nothing about, and this is in Fort Lauderdale. Same thing happened in I had to go to a Fort Lauderdale hospital. They asked me the same thing. Where am I from? Even though they could have looked at the insurance card and seen. And she said, where is that? And I began this whole story again, and I had time. So I began the whole story. Now, that is up to the Department of Tourism. Their marketing is.
But we're not going to reach. We're not going to reach everybody.
I know, but Florida, honestly, next door, and we traveled to Florida.
Were those individuals Floridians? They probably were transplants themselves, maybe.
I don't know. One of them told me she was raised. A nurse told me that. She was raised right there in Florida and grew up for her whole family from there. Wow. It does not matter. Our marketing has gotten all wrong. They're not doing their job, and I don't care who it bothers, but they're not doing a good job. It's the same thing going on in Europe. Switzerland is more expensive than here. We have a direct flight from Grand Cayman to England, and we're still not advertising. They don't know. They do not know where Grand Cayman is. We even carry maps. We sometimes carry books and show them. So marketing has to step up their marketing procedure or strategy and do what they are paid to do, so Cayman can get more tourism. Okay, now, I know that the tourism season is about over because we're kind of out of whack. It would begin again the end of November, but we were kind of out of whack because of COVID. And I hope that nothing happens, that we will get out of whack again. But tourism has been slack off. We also need more Caymanians trained for these jobs.
Okay.
We do need it. So it's not Kenneth Bryan's fault, because this has been said over and over and over again, and no government picks up on it. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We seen that you weren't lonely, right,
okay.
Billy?
Thank you very much for that. Thanks. Thank you very much. So one of our listeners has written also, said, regarding the shipping situation from Grand Cayman to the sister islands, other entrepreneurs have tried that by chartering a ship to do the run. They were practically driven out of business by the existing shipping company that runs the barge. They have certain monopolies on the dock, including the crane, and they could jeopardize anyone else trying to compete. Also, shipping is the lifeline and important to sustainability of life. So perhaps government may have to subsidize the route. The route is not extremely profitable, hence the reason for maintaining a barge for the route as well. Going back to the caller who spoke about the property, the dry, I think they refer to it as a dry forest area or something like that, that was up for sale for some $4 or $5 million. It seems as up until the 2020, the Environmental Protection Fund, the coffers at that time had grown by another almost $1 million. So it was somewhere in the vicinity of $57.9 million, almost $58 million in 2020. Not sure where it is today. And like I questioned earlier, whether or not those funds can be used to purchase and preserve land for the people of the Cayman Islands, like what is up for sale. Also, speaking about our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and the protection of the environment, and I pointed out to you that in 2009, the Cayman Islands Constitution Order, including the Bill of Rights, was one of the few constitutions that included a section in relation to the protection of the environment. And Section 18 of our Bill of Rights states that government shall, in all its decisions, have due regard to the need to foster and protect an environment that is not harmful to the health or well-being of present and future generations, while promoting justifiable economic and social development. I'm going to pause there for a second. Justifiable development is not, development is not justifiable when it is being done to feed the egos of others, those who want to live near to the sea, those who want to destroy our mangroves to be able to have a view of our oceans as well. That is not justifiable economic or social development when it is designed to feed your personal egos and the fact that you have money that you can burn. Subsection 2 speaks to the fact that to this end, government should adopt reasonable legislative and other measures to protect the heritage and wildlife and the land and sea biodiversity of the Cayman Islands, that A, limit pollution and ecological degradation, B, promote conservation and biodiversity, and C, secure ecologically sustainable development and use of natural resources. Folks, we need to take our Constitution seriously. We need to ensure that we enforce it as well. Top of the hour, 10 o'clock, sorry. No more news time. This is the end of the show. I want to thank all of those who have been involved in the conversation this morning, keeping the conversation going, sharing their views, sharing their opinions, as well. I want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who is less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. John Sterling, Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens.